and welcome to our community. Susie Thomas joining you this morning with Corey Easterday from a couple of very interesting projects. I know you from the Laundry Project, but we're going to talk about some other things as well this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Susie. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's begin with the Laundry Project. I know years ago this launched as Laundry Love, and tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. So roughly 5 years ago, I was going through a crazy time personally in life. My family was homeless for a brief period of time. My dad had just passed away, just lots of things happening all at once. And in the midst of that, I recalled some stuff I'd done with my youth group as a kid, where we went to laundromats and gave quarters to people. So long story short, I just thought, wow, wouldn't this be a great way to give back to the community, revive something like that? And got some friends, some quarters, went around to laundromats, and eventually a friend sent me a link to an organization called Current Initiatives that was doing this in a more organized fashion in Florida, and got connected with them. They coached me on it, and we've been working together ever since.
They had to be mighty impressed that a young man just on his own would gather up quarters and take on this initiative on his own. Tell me about that relationship.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I contacted the director of Current Initiatives, Jason Sowell, thinking that, he's the president of this organization. He's, miles and miles away. He wouldn't get back to me, but he was very intrigued and very enthusiastic about coaching and helping. And I was surprised by how many people caught on to such a simple idea like clean laundry.
Tell me about Current. What is this organization about?
Right. So Current Initiatives started in mid-2000s and 2007, 2008, and was really about, they say they want to educate and mobilize people on current social initiatives. And that kind of goes both ways, right? We get to educate the community on what social initiatives are out there, on different ways to work with people and empower them and bring dignity to families that are struggling to make ends meet. But on the other side, we get to just educate even the families that we work with on lots of different things as a way to just help move them forward and take next steps in their situations. Yeah.
You are such a good example of how there but for the grace of God go I. So
Right.
many of us go through life not really thinking about what it would be like to be homeless, with the thought that we really ought to have that could happen to anybody at any time depending on circumstances. And for you to be able to turn that around and use it to serve others and to be able to approach people saying, hey, I've been there, no judgment, I've been there, this can happen to any of us, it had to have established some unique relationships for you with the people that you serve. Can you tell me a little bit about those relationships?
Oh, absolutely. Over the years, we've been blessed to be able to connect with so many families in Stark County through our laundry projects, through the Affordable Christmas Initiative. So many families that are reminiscent of how I grew up or the childhood that I had. My mom was a single mom, 2 kids. We had a lot of crazy family stuff going on financially, emotionally, otherwise. And I remember the chaos and the stress it put on our family, and how there was a lack of relational support systems for us, and just a lack of education and knowledge about what to do in the circumstances we faced every day. And I see that in so many of the families we work with. This one woman comes to mind who helps out with our Affordable Christmas, but she also comes to shop, and she tells us every year just what a blessing it is for her to be able to not only shop for her family and be the hero and provide for her kids, but to be able to teach her kids what it means to give back. And I think that's something that gets overlooked, is that we often think maybe that we're the ones with so much to teach people that are in struggling situations, when in reality, they have such a desire, like, to give back and to be in community and to be known and to, just work with people. So it's been amazing to me to find what happens when you just gather people together from all walks of life, all socioeconomic backgrounds, and bring them together for a common purpose.
Now, you've mentioned Affordable Christmas a couple of times. Tell us a little bit about this. Is another initiative in which you're involved, correct?
Yes. So Affordable Christmas is in its 5th year. The first year we did it, we started in my house, just helping like 20 or 30 families. It was pretty thrown together, but we've developed it over the years. And so this year we'll be in Canton, Ohio, and in Uniontown, Ohio. Canton, Ohio on December the 12th, and Uniontown, Ohio on December the 13th. And the cool thing we get to do with Affordable Christmas is partner with community organizations that refer families to us. So it's an invite-only event for families because these organizations, the way we look at it, have relationships with these families throughout the whole year, and we just get to come alongside them in December to help out what they're doing with these families already. And so this year we're working with the Stark County Family Engagement Council. We're working with Fish Food Pantry in Uniontown. We're working with the Martin Center. That's actually where we're going to be hosting it in Canton this year, and they're helping us refer families. And, we're working with, oh man, this always happens. The last one's slipping my mind.
It'll come to you, but it's
right,
like trying to name the 7 dwarfs. You can always come up with 6 of them. Exactly. But yeah, I know you'll come up with it. Well, it's just an amazing project and undertaking. What will the families get for Christmas, and where are you getting all of this?
Right. So, and this is actually a good time to name the organization I missed, because we also have lots of organizations that are helping sponsor and donate this year. First Christian Church is one of those, and they'll also be referring some families to come shop. But we have First Friends Church working with us. We have River Tree is a huge partner, especially the Lake, Canal, Fulton campuses, Love Canton. All the River Tree campuses are really great with working with us. We have just so many community partners that are going to be donating. They're going to be bringing volunteers. They're going to be bringing toys, putting trees up, having people donate. And so we just basically love that we get to make this a whole Stark County-wide event. There's even some organizations I know I'm forgetting because we just get that many people involved. And it's, again, just illustrates the power of what happens when everybody comes together for a common purpose.
I'm quite sure that there are folks listening saying, I would love to donate.
Yes.
And, you just think you're out in Mark's or you're out shopping in Target and so forth, doing your own Christmas shopping, starting to get things together. It's so easy to pick up an extra toy or two. First of all, is there a list of what people want specifically, or should you just find something and bring it, and hopefully you will match it up with the right person, or how does this logistically work?
Right. So logistically, and this is also where you can see all the sponsors, even the ones I forgot to mention. But if you go to christmasbycurrent.org, there are 2 event pages on there for Uniontown and for Canton, Ohio, and you are able to sign up to volunteer. You're able to sign up to donate. There is a wish list included there that gives lots of suggestions for toy categories. When we have organizations sign families up, we get a general idea of things they'd like to purchase, and so that's on the website, lists of our sponsors, all that stuff.
And I love what you're doing in that you really are emphasizing dignity. These are not handouts. This is something that is drastically reduced prices that families can come in and do their Christmas shopping. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. And the reason we do that is largely, first of all, I read about Affordable Christmas in a book called For the City. I visited an organization in St. Louis called Mission St. Louis that pioneered this program in so many ways. But they copied it from someone else. There's nothing truly original under the sun, but they're the ones who kind of helped me through it when we got it started. And basically, a lot of the reason behind it, and that matches up with my own story, is I can remember as a kid on Christmas morning, there was a huge difference in my mom and her demeanor versus when we got to open the gifts that she purchased versus the ones that she had to pick up for free. There is just a unique pride and a sense of self-worth and dignity in her, knowing that she got to be the hero for her kids. And so, Christmas, you could debate all day long about its merits of buying toys and the consumerism and all that stuff, but we just take it as the opportunity to give these parents what I think they're truly asking for, is that sense of dignity and empowerment that they can be the hero for their kids. And so that's why they purchase brand new gifts at 1/10 of the cost, so that they can have some financial contribution. They get to shop around like it's a normal store and just provide for their kids.
Is your mom still living?
Yes.
She must be so proud right now, and what a tribute you are to her of seeing the struggle and seeing her overcome, but seeing also the incredible good that's come from that. Do you have an opportunity to talk with her? How is she? And do you get a chance to thank her?
Yeah, I make sure that, speaking of dignity, that I honor my mom and our family situation and everything that we do, because to me it's not just a story that's a launching off point for doing initiatives. It's something that we live daily. Even now, we very much still find ourselves in a poverty situation overall as our whole family. And it's just illustrated to me her strength and her courage and her ability to be able to overcome so much. I just am recently married. I've been married for just a year, and we're not. My wife would kill me for saying this, but we're not having kids yet. We're obviously that's something you think about in the future, things like that. But as I make that transition mentally into what it would be like to be a parent, and I can really put myself in my mom's shoes, I can really come to appreciate just everything that she went through to make sure that we were taken care of and provided for as kids, and the strain and stress that circumstances in life can really put on a person. Parenting's hard enough, but when you have other stuff going on, it makes it a lot harder. So all that to say, I have the utmost respect for my mom, for my sister, for my family, that for what they've been through. So.
We are visiting with newlywed Corey Easterday, and congratulations. He oversees the laundry project in Stark County and other counties?
Yes. So, sorry, actually, that's be really good to mention. So this year we started expanding a lot more. We've always had people from other cities come to us and say, hey, this is a great idea. We'd love to do this. So we've gotten to do a little bit of that throughout Ohio, the Laundry Project Initiative specifically, partnering with other groups. But this year, we've really focused in on laundry projects in Canton, here in Canton, Ohio. And we've started doing them consistently in Akron, Ohio, and in Cincinnati, Ohio. And are even looking into doing some in Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio next year. So lots of great partners in those cities helping us as well.
So cool. And is that through current initiatives that you're able to make those contacts, or do you have personal contacts in, say, Cincinnati and Columbus that you're working with?
Sure. So one of the cool things about working for current initiatives is it's become sort of it's become a vast network of relationships in regards to these community events. And one such relationship that we gained recently is with the Coin Laundry Association. So nationally, they have 30,000 plus members and laundromats and connections. So it's become very easy for us to say, hey, we would love to go do a project in the city. Can you put us in touch with the owner? Because it's important for us to partner with them to do this. And very often through the owner, or just through personal relationships, we'll have connections already in those communities that'll help volunteer, sponsor, donate, just take part.
I love the visual of thinking of you walking into a bank with a check from your donors saying, I need such and such number of quarters, please. What does that look like? Do you walk out with bags and bags, or how does that work?
Yeah, big shout out to all my Fifth Third bank tellers in Stark County here for putting up with me. But they're always great to work with. I've started just having to calling in advance because, you're asking for hundreds of dollars of quarters, walking out with boxes, and you know what I mean? So it's fun to do, but yeah.
Well, tell us about a day, because that's got to be, as you say, such a moving experience. You're working with people who are homeless or do not own a washer or dryer, or for whatever reason have a difficulty washing their clothes, and the difference it makes to have a clean set of clothes. I'm just mentally, emotionally, besides physically, can you tell the transformation that you get to witness?
Yeah, so even for someone like myself who grew up in poverty, whose family still, struggles with that to a degree, I even took for granted what it was like to be able to have clean clothes very consistently. And I think, rightfully so, my mom didn't divulge all the, dirty, no pun intended, details of our financial situation growing up. But as an adult, I've come to realize that, like many of the families we work with, as a kid, we had to choose between paying the electric bill or getting groceries or things like that and doing our laundry. And many weeks, just laundry went out, and so other things had to lose out. And maybe we didn't eat as much that week or weren't able to pay certain bills. Because as I've talked to families and interviewed them at these projects, I've found that things like job interviews, going to school, just relationships in general, having clean laundry is such an empowering thing for people. And we get a lot of working poor, people just struggling to make ends meet. And we just say it's open to anybody that needs to use a laundromat, really.
So good. We're talking with Corey Easterday from the Laundry Project and Affordable Christmas. He's with Current Initiatives. And we will be back in just a moment. You're listening to Our Community here on The Light 95.9.